Did you know that travelers waste over $1 billion a year on avoidable fees and bad exchange rates? That's right, $1 billion. And here's another shocker. Nearly 30% of travelers run out of money before their trip ends. But it doesn't have to be that way. In this video, we're diving into 9 essential travel money tips that will save you from common mistakes. From nailing down the best exchange rates to hacking your travel insurance, we've got you covered. You'll learn how to protect your cash, avoid hidden fees, and make the most of your travel budget. Stick around because these tips could be the difference between a stress-free vacation and a financial nightmare. Let's get started. Chapter 1. Lock in the best exchange rates early. Beat the currency game. When it comes to travel, timing is everything, especially with currency exchange. Did you know that exchange rates can fluctuate multiple times a day? If you're not careful, you could lose out big time. According to the World Bank, travelers can lose up to 10% of their travel budget just by exchanging currency at the wrong time. That's like tossing money out the window. One smart strategy is to monitor the exchange rates as soon as you start planning your trip. There are some great apps out there, like XE or Revolut, that let you set alerts for when the rates are in your favor. This way, you can exchange money when the rates are optimal and avoid the nasty surprises at airport kiosks. Another great tip is to consider locking in your exchange rate ahead of time using a prepaid travel card. These cards allow you to load money at the current rate, so if the currency drops later, you're still getting a good deal. It's like having a crystal ball for your finances. Plus, it's a lot safer than carrying a bunch of cash. Remember, the early bird catches the best rates. So, don't wait until the last minute. Keep an eye on those rates, lock them in when they're good, and you'll have more cash to spend on the fun stuff. Chapter 2. The hidden power of travel credit cards. Perks beyond points. Travel credit cards are like the Swiss Army knives of your travel toolkit, packed with hidden features. Sure, everyone loves racking up points for flights and hotels, but did you know that the best travel credit cards offer so much more? Take insurance, for example. Many premium travel cards include complimentary travel insurance, covering things like lost luggage, trip cancellations, and even medical emergencies. According to a study by NerdWallet, you could save over $200 per trip just by relying on your card's insurance benefits. That's serious savings, especially if you're traveling with expensive gear. Then there's airport lounge access, a lifesaver on long layovers. Imagine relaxing in a plush chair, sipping on free coffee, while everyone else scrambles for a seat at the gate. Some cards, like the American Express Platinum, offer access to hundreds of lounges worldwide. These lounges often have free Wi-Fi, snacks, and sometimes even showers. It's like being upgraded to first class without the price tag. But it doesn't stop there. Some cards also waive foreign transaction fees, which can save you up to 3% on every purchase abroad. Over a 2-week trip, that could add up to hundreds of dollars back in your pocket. So, next time you're picking a travel card, look beyond the points. Those extra perks can make your trip smoother, safer, and a whole lot more enjoyable. Chapter 3. Ditch the fees. How to avoid ATM and bank charges abroad. ATM fees are like little travel vampires, sucking the life out of your budget. You're just trying to grab some local cash, and suddenly, you're hit with a $5 fee from the ATM, plus another fee from your bank. Ouch! But don't worry, there are ways to keep your money safe from these sneaky charges. First, consider opening an account with a bank that offers fee-free withdrawals abroad. Banks like Charles Schwab and Revolut don't charge foreign transaction fees and even refund ATM fees worldwide. It's like having a global bank in your pocket. Another trick is to withdraw larger amounts less often. Many banks charge a flat fee per transaction, so instead of withdrawing $20 here and $20 there, take out $200 at once. You'll save on fees, and you'll have enough cash on hand to avoid multiple trips to the ATM. If you're really serious about saving, check out local banks or partner ATMs. Some banks have partnerships with international networks, allowing you to withdraw cash without extra charges. And here's a pro tip. Always choose to be charged in the local currency, not your home currency, when using an ATM abroad. Dynamic currency conversion might sound convenient, but it usually comes with a worse exchange rate. By following these tips, you can keep your hard-earned cash in your wallet where it belongs. Avoid the fees and enjoy your travels without the financial headaches. Chapter 4. The Travel Budget Hack. Smart ways to stash your cash. Traveling with cash can be nerve-wracking. After all, no one wants to be the person who loses their vacation money to a pickpocket. But there are some smart and simple ways to protect your cash while on the go. One clever method is to split your cash into several different places. Don't keep all your eggs in one basket. For instance, stash some money in a money belt, some in your wallet, and a little in your shoe or a hidden pocket. This way, even if something goes missing, you're not left stranded. Speaking of money belts, they're not just for tourists in fanny packs. A slim, discreet money belt worn under your clothes can be a lifesaver in crowded markets or tourist spots where pickpockets thrive. It's like having a secret safe on your body. Another trick is to use a dummy wallet. Keep a small amount of cash and some old, expired cards in a cheap wallet that you don't care about. If you're ever in a situation where you're being pressured to hand over your money, you can give them the dummy wallet and keep your real valuables safe. If you're more of a digital person, consider using a prepaid travel card. These cards allow you to load a set amount of money and use it like a debit card. They're great because even if someone steals your card, they can only spend what's on it, nothing more. Lastly, always have a backup plan. Keep a little extra cash hidden somewhere in your luggage, just in case. Whether it's tucked into a sock or the lining of your bag, it's your safety net if things go south. Chapter 5. Localize your spending. Insider tips for currency conversion. Currency conversion can feel like navigating a minefield. One wrong step, and you're paying more than you need to. But there are ways to make sure you're getting the best deal when you spend abroad. First, always pay in the local currency. It might be tempting to pay in your home currency when offered, but this convenience often comes at a cost. It's called dynamic currency conversion, and it usually means a poor exchange rate plus extra fees. Stick to the local currency to avoid this trap. Another tip is to use a currency converter app while you're shopping. Apps like XE or Currency Converter Plus give you real-time exchange rates, so you know exactly how much you're spending. This helps you avoid getting overcharged, especially in markets or small shops where prices might not be fixed. When it comes to converting your money, avoid airport kiosks at all costs. These places have some of the worst rates around. Instead, withdraw local currency from a reputable bank's ATM once you arrive. You'll get a much better exchange rate and lower fees. If you're planning to stay in one place for a while, consider opening a local bank account. This is especially useful for longer trips or if you're working remotely. It can save you a lot in fees, and you'll have easier access to your money. Finally, don't forget about haggling. In many countries, bargaining is not just accepted, it's expected. Brush up on your negotiation skills before you go. A good haggle can save you a lot, especially in markets where prices are often inflated for tourists. Loving the content? Subscribe and let's jump right back into the action. Chapter 6. Safety First. Protecting your finances from scams and theft. Travel scams are everywhere, and tourists are often prime targets. But with a little knowledge and preparation, you can keep your money safe and your trip worry-free. One of the most common scams is the friendly local, who offers to help you with something, like buying a ticket or finding your hotel. They seem nice, but they're often looking for a way to overcharge you or steal your belongings. Always be cautious about accepting help from strangers, especially when it involves money. Another classic scam is the rigged taxi meter. In some places, taxi drivers may try to charge you extra by taking a longer route or using a tampered meter. To avoid this, agree on a fare before you get in, or use a reputable ride-sharing app like Uber or Lyft. Credit card skimming is another danger. It happens when a thief secretly copies your card information using a hidden device. To protect yourself, use your card only at trusted establishments and keep an eye on your statements for any suspicious activity. Contactless payments or using a mobile wallet can also reduce the risk of skimming. If you're carrying a lot of cash, be extra vigilant in crowded places like markets, bus stations, or tourist attractions. Pickpockets are experts at what they do, and they often work in teams to distract you while they swipe your wallet. Keep your valuables secured in a money belt or a bag with anti-theft features, like lockable zippers. Finally, consider travel insurance that covers theft or lost items. It's a small investment for peace of mind. According to Allianz Global Assistance, 21% of travel insurance claims involve lost or stolen items. Having insurance can save you a lot of headaches if the worst happens. Chapter 7. Savvy Souvenirs. Smart shopping without breaking the bank. Shopping for souvenirs is one of the joys of traveling, but it can also be a quick way to blow your budget. The key is to be smart and strategic about what you buy and where you buy it. First off, skip the tourist traps. The shops closest to popular attractions usually have the highest prices. Instead, venture a little further from the main sites. You'll often find better deals and more authentic items in local markets or smaller, family-run shops. It's also important to know the value of what you're buying. In many places, bargaining is part of the culture. But if you're not familiar with the local pricing, it's easy to overpay. A good rule of thumb is to start by offering half of the asking price and work your way up from there. According to The Art of Negotiation, by Michael Wheeler, skilled negotiators know when to walk away. If the price isn't right, don't be afraid to leave and try another shop. Another strategy is to focus on items that are unique to the region. Not only do these make for more meaningful souvenirs, but they're also often of better quality and better priced than generic items. Think hand-woven textiles in Peru or hand-painted ceramics in Italy. These are the kinds of things you can't easily find at home, and they often support local artisans directly. When it comes to payment, avoid using credit cards in markets unless absolutely necessary. Some vendors may tack on a surcharge for card payments, or worse, use an unsecured system that could put your information at risk. Paying in cash can often give you more bargaining power and help you avoid these risks. Lastly, be mindful of how much you buy. It's easy to get carried away, but remember that everything you purchase needs to fit in your luggage. Plus, customs fees can add up if you're bringing back a lot of goods. A good tip from seasoned travelers is to buy smaller items that are easy to pack but still meaningful, like jewelry, local spices, or small pieces of art. Chapter 8. Budgeting on the go. Tools for tracking expenses while traveling. Keeping track of your spending while traveling can feel like a full-time job, but it doesn't have to be. There are plenty of tools and strategies to help you stay on top of your budget without sacrificing the fun. One of the best ways to track expenses is by using a travel budgeting app. Apps like Trail Wallet or Travel Spend let you input your expenses on the go and categorize them by type, like food, transportation, or entertainment. These apps often work offline, so you don't need to worry about data charges while you're out exploring. According to a survey by TravelX, travelers who track their expenses tend to spend 23% less than those who don't. Another great strategy is to set a daily spending limit. Before your trip, estimate how much you want to spend each day and stick to it. This doesn't mean you have to deprive yourself, just be mindful of your purchases. If you splurge one day, try to cut back the next. It's all about balance. For those who prefer pen and paper, keeping a small travel journal is another effective way to monitor spending. Jot down what you spend each day, along with a brief note about where you spent it. This not only helps you keep track of your budget but also makes for a great travel memory book. If you're traveling with others, splitting costs can sometimes get tricky. Apps like Splitwise or TryCount are perfect for keeping track of who owes what. No more awkward moments at the end of the trip trying to figure out who paid for dinner 3 nights ago. Lastly, don't forget to budget for the unexpected. It's a good idea to set aside a small emergency fund for things like medical expenses, lost luggage, or an extra night at a hotel if plans change. Having this buffer can reduce stress and ensure that you're not caught off guard by unforeseen costs. For fresh videos and updates, make sure to subscribe and stay tuned.